When you came, I've heard leaders say, "Oh, I don't change anything for a year," and I've heard this from business leaders. I've heard this from bishops. I've heard this from pastors. When I come to a new place, I I don't change anything for a year. When did you start changing things?
Day one.
And what would you say to people who said, "Well, I should wait a year to change anything"?
I would just say, I don't think you're being a good father. If I was the foster father and I moved into a home and my children weren't being fed, and I said, I think they should continue to starve for at least 6 months, I think that's a bad father. If I was a foster father and I came into a home and the children were being told lies, or the way that they were acting or behaving was less of them as human beings and as individuals, and I said nothing, I'm a coward. I can say that I like to call them adjustments, not changes. I learned from a very good priest in seminary. Like when you're changing things in the use the word adjustment. It's much easier to embrace. So when I make adjustments, when I had to make a lot of adjustments when I first arrived, it was to me, that's your first opportunity to teach. So I think you should adjust. You should make changes. But all those changes are then opportunities to explain why I'm making the change. I'm making this change because here it is in scripture, here it is in church documents or governance or the catechism or the general section of the Roman Missal. And here's the fruit that's going to come from it. There's a great bishop who's very influential early in my priesthood, and he always used to say, they don't know what they don't know. They just don't know what they don't know. He always said that to me about youth ministry. That our young people just don't know what they don't know. If they knew, they'd act differently. And I've just applied that across the board. And yeah, I think if you wait, it's harder to change if you wait. Because then you have to explain, well, why did I allow this to happen for 6 months? And why did I tolerate it for a year? But now all of a sudden I want to change it.